Good afternoon, everyone. I extend a warm welcome to all the participants to Day 5 of the 6-day Faculty Development Program on Intelligent Computing Technologies, organized by the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Sripati Institute of Management and Technology. We are delighted to continue our FTP with another insightful technical section that will guide us in strengthening our research skills and exploring new opportunities in academic research. Without further delay, let us begin today's section. It is my pleasure to introduce our resource person for today's section, Dr. V.M. Manikandan. Dr. V.M. Manikandan is an associate professor and head of Department of Computer Science and Engineering, SRM University, Andrapradesh. He is an experienced academician and researcher with significant contributions in teaching, research, and guiding scholars in emerging areas of computer science and engineering. Today's section is titled Kickstart Research. This section will provide valuable insight into initiating research activities, identify research problems, developing innovative ideas, and understanding the various stages involved in conducting quality research. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, CMAT, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. V.M. Manikandan and invite him to take over the section. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So very good afternoon to all of you, and thank you for the nice introduction. So is my screen visible? Am I audible? Can anyone confirm?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay, so once again, very good afternoon to all of you. And I thank Sripati Institute of Management and Technology for their kind invitation for this FDP session as a resource person. And today, about my background, I am working as an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at SRM University AP. It's in Andhra Pradesh. I'm also taking some additional responsibility as a faculty advisor for Center for Interdisciplinary Research. So let me come into our session. Today, I want to discuss about how someone want to start the research, how we can do the kickstarting, basically. Also, if I go to the topics for today's session, so I split the presentation into two parts. In the part one, I will try to discuss about the basics of research. And if someone want to do the research, what all are the basic areas there in the computer science? So I know there are few participants are from other background also. So, but I will be focusing more on CSE or ACE related field. Then I just want to give a few problems which we can take it as a project or research work. Also, I will try to discuss about various steps in research and what is the overall structure of a research paper. From the coordinator, I got to know that some of you people are doing PhD, some of you are completed PhD, and a few people might be interested to do the PhD also. So in the second part, my interest will be to talk about the PhD. What is PhD? What all are the different phases there during PhD? Also, see, some people are hesitated to do their PhD because of various misconception. So I will try to discuss what all are them and what is really happening in the academic environment. Then of course a few benefits of doing PhD also I will try to discuss. So more I have gone through the FDP schedule. Most of the sessions are very technical. They talking about some of the some of the projects like deep learning, okay, many other emerging technologies. But my session today, it will be a interactive session. Basically, if you have any questions, we can try to take it up during the session, or you can put it in the comment box. And this will be a casual talk ultimately. And I want to help you people, those who are in the very beginning stage, those who are working in the academics, doing the teaching for a long time, but not done any research work, how such people can come into this area. Okay. If any people are already involved in these things, they may get bored in this session also. Let us move forward. Okay, so I thought about, okay, we can make a try actually. There is a QR code is here. So if any participants want to scan it, and if they, I have a question here. Whenever we are talking about research, what is coming to your mind? At least one word coming into your mind, you can just type it. If anyone interested, I can see 40 people are there, at least maybe 10, 15 people might be responding. So you can just scan this QR code and there will be an option to type the answer and you can put it as an anonymous answer kind of thing. So I want, when someone talking about research, one word coming into your mind. So if anyone interested, they can participate in this. I will give 1 minute. If no answers, no worries. We will keep move forward also. It should not be any definition or anything. Just one word simply coming to your mind when we are talking about a research. Yes, at least I got two responses. I can see that learn more, finding solutions. At least two people responded. I appreciate that. Again, this is an afternoon session, right? Yeah. So, yes, I do agree with yes, I'm getting few more answers. Investigate further. Okay. Anyone else want to participate? I'm looking for one word. Of course, you can type a couple of words also, no issues. Okay, I have more precise definition, systematic learning through investigation. Okay. Okay, fine. So at least we can see some responses. And most of the responses are correct only. Okay, or we don't have a like for if someone asks you what is research, we can define it in different ways. Okay, and whatever the answers we have seen there, that all are correct only. So research means we are trying to study about something very carefully, very rigorously. Okay, which may help to come up with some new ideas, or it may be helping to solve a existing problem. Okay, or sometimes it may be helping to improve the existing solution. Okay, finding a new solution is different and an existing solution improving is different. Okay, so research is simply we are studying about something, okay, very carefully, very rigorously, which may help us to solve some problem, or it will help to improve the existing solutions. Okay. If I want to travel, I have many transportation options, right? I can use cycle, bicycle, I can use car, I can use train, right? So all these solutions are there, but still people are doing research. What I want to do, I want to travel so fast. So people are putting more effort there, right? So research is happening in all the areas if you see. Okay. It is helping to solve many real life problem in all areas like healthcare, security related, even in education. Okay. So uh, the research basically contributing some new knowledge into any of the field they are doing the research also. So we can simply say that research means some people told it's a systematic investigation about something. Yes, it will help to solve the problem. Now, see, let us assume that I am a person, I might have done my UG, maybe BTech, then I did MTech. Okay, during all this study, I may not have done much research. Mostly, we have a curriculum, we know certain subject we have to study, and a limited research work we might have done during our past studies. Okay. Now the question, I am very fresh to research. I have not done any research so far. I want to start my research work. What is the first step in this? So, of course, the first step when you want to do the research, you have to identify your domain. Okay. Your domain, for example, if you are a CSE faculty or a CSE student, you may come across different terminologies like AML is there, cloud computing is there, Internet of Things, cyber security. These all are some of the fancy words nowadays, right? So we can say that if you see computer science and engineering, or if you see electronics and communication engineering, there are different areas are there. So you have to decide which area you want to work. So that is ultimately the first step is identifying the research domain. Okay. So then the question, how I will identify the research domain? Of course, you may have some interest. Okay. Even though, for example, I don't know anything about cybersecurity, but I watched some movies, I saw some people are doing some hacking and all. Okay. So with that, I don't know any technical details, but I'm very much interested about this kind of hacking or providing security, all those things. Such interest is very much required when you are selecting your domain. Okay. So if you have any interest, then we can think about selecting that particular domain. Sometimes maybe we have some background knowledge. For example, I know in our academic system, sometimes during your MTech program, you might have taken some project, or you might have taken a seminar on your some particular domain. Or if I am a faculty, I might be guiding some students on their some project work. So based on that, I have some background knowledge. Okay, I guided a project. The students used some machine learning technique to identify whether maybe there in a video whether any accident is happening or not. Okay, something like that. So I have some knowledge there. So it will be easy for me to expand that knowledge to do my further research. Okay. Another option is that, see, like we can talk to the people, those who are already working in the domain. For example, in this FTP. Okay. So maybe half of the people or a few people, those who are attending this FTP, maybe they not started any research work, maybe. Okay. I'm just randomly I'm saying. Of course, maybe some of you people are already doing that. So uh, then what we can do, we can talk to the people, those who are working in this that any domain. For example, yesterday there was a session on deep learning for healthcare applications. You can talk to them more about that area and you can identify. Okay. So other part is that nowadays plenty of information available in internet. You can access many journals or open access journals are there, which means you can access it from anywhere. So such journals you can journal papers and all you can read, okay, or any other kind of magazines or any other article you can read, and you will get an overall idea. So in this way, the first step to start your research work is that you should decide your research domain. I hope you are following. Let us areas in the field of computer science. Okay, I just listed a few here. You can see that you might be heard about computer vision. Of course, this is another fancy term, AI, ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning, cyber security, data science, data mining, even people still working on computer networks. Okay, Internet of Things. People usually, in short, people will use IoT. Okay, natural language processing, virtual reality is another domain, which is a very interesting domain. Okay. So like that, even people can think about some interdisciplinary research also. These are some of the common buckets you can consider, and you have to pick any one area to move forward. Okay. So this is the first step. Based on your interest, based on the discussion with your colleagues or any people, those who are already doing the research, and also with your background knowledge, you pick one of the core domain. For instance, I am saying that I am interested to work with the computer vision. Okay. Then the first step is done. What is the next step? Computer vision is an area, okay, where you are trying to use video or images to understand the scene and to take some decisions. Okay. Now the next step is we have to find a specific problem which can be solved using computer vision. Okay. So in computer vision, we can identify many problems. I just listed a few problems here to bring a clarity to you. And this, whatever I listed here, they are very popular problems. Still, people are working. Okay, it's not like they are saturated. Okay, so one of the problem is that computer vision based fault detection. Okay, so in computer vision based fault detection, what we want to do, I'm a bit confident to talk about this problem also. There is a reason to keep this slide here. One of my PhD student worked in this field. Ultimately, what was our objective? See, let us assume at my home, my parents alone there. They are aged. Okay. And usually what will happen, my pattern of work is that morning I will come here and I will work, evening only I will be going back. Now, if any accidental fall happened, there is no one to help, right? And maybe I may or may not get to know that also. So this problem, ultimately, we can try to place a camera at home. Nowadays, in many home, we used to keep the cameras also to for the safety purpose, even inside the house and outside the house also, right? So this problem says that if any fault happening with the video processing, I want to identify any fault is happening or not. This is one problem. The second thing is that people are still working in the extended version to predict the fault. Like if a old person, okay, he's going, there is a possibility for him to fall down, then it should be detected. And that information, how it is going to help? Once it is detected, it can be informed to one caretaker or one point of contact, and they can take a precautionary measures. Like if I get an alert that okay, my father is going to fall down or he already fell down, then I will try to contact my neighbor or my friend, or I will go myself to home and I will check it. Okay. So this is one problem. It is not a saturated area. Still, people are working. The next idea is that abnormal activity detection. Okay, so abnormal activity detection means, in the public spaces like public places like malls, airports, or railway station. Nowadays, many many things are happening, right? Abnormal activities like people are fighting. Sometimes people will come with some weapons. So we can think about I have a surveillance camera in a public place, and I am trying to develop a software system which will try to identify the abnormal activity. Okay. Yeah. So next problem, surveillance video synopsis generation. This is something like see, uh, you can think about a scenario like this. My house is there at my village, but I am staying away from home because of my job or something. And at home, I kept a surveillance camera. It will be monitoring 24 into 7. Okay. But the thing like after when I can see my surveillance video at any point of time, but it is very difficult for me to see each and every hour what going to happen there, right? Or what is happening there. I'm seeing that not going to much help, right? So this video synopsis generation means it will try to generate a summary of the video. Okay, so that maybe the 24 hours video will try to, from that we will try to generate a 3 minute or 4 minute video where we will be getting a glimpse of what happened throughout the day. And again, I don't want to see the whole video to see what happened throughout the day. So that is another problem you people can think about. And if you think about the area like image processing, there are many image processing and computer vision, there is an overlapping, but in pure image processing also, we can find out many research problem. One of the interesting problem, and people are working from last 20 years, still there is a scope to work, content-based image retrieval. Okay, in content-based image retrieval, what is going to happen? I have a large set of images. Okay. And what I want to do, I will give a query image and I want to retrieve the images which are similar to that. If you see those who are using Amazon for online purchase, see, you could be able to see an option like this, upload photo. What you can do, for example, I'm having a coffee cup. Okay, my friend is having a coffee cup. He purchased it in online. Now I want to buy the same thing. What I can try to do, I can just take his cup. I will just capture the photo. Then I will ask Amazon to search it. Amazon, what it will do? It will try to find out the same product with a similar texture, like a color, or if any designs are there. This is working very fine. If any one of you, even you can to search for a dress, you can use this thing. You find your friend is using a dress. Okay, you want to buy the same color, same design. You can capture the photo. You can upload. It will try to find it. Now, behind this, there is an algorithm is working, right? Amazon application is okay, but what is happening in the inside? So we people can think about such methods, content-based image retrieval. Even it can be specifically for retrieving the similar product or similar text document or similar faces, anything we can think about. I hope you people are following and you are not getting bored. The next area is like a salient object detection. Salient object detection means, see, when you see an image, okay, uh, your attention will go into a specific region in an image. Visual attention I am talking. When I'm seeing this particular image, maybe the first image, if you see, this particular image, if you see, most of the people focus will go into this region. Okay. Similarly, if you see here, most of the people first attention will go here. Here you can see that this wherever we are having this animal there, will attention will go there. So the salient object detection is something like the input to your salient object detection algorithm will be an image and output will be a binary image like this. Okay, in that image, we could be able to realize, okay, this is the salient object. This is the salient object like that. Again, if you see a group photo, okay, let us assume that you have a group photo and there is a maybe Yeah. So in that itself, if you see, your attention may go into 1 or 2%, maybe when we are seeing that image. Okay. So in real life, our attention is going to some region. It depends on person to person. There will be some changes, of course. Okay. In computerized technique also, we want to develop some algorithms which will help us to find the salient objects in an image. What way it is going to help? It may help in developing some image compression technique. What you will do, you will try to retain the salient objects in the image as it is without any distortion. And maybe I can think about the remaining regions. What I will do more compression so that without affecting the visual quality, we are compressing the image. Okay. Or if I want to if I want to crop the image, the salient object I can try to maintain and remaining region I will try to crop out. Okay. Again, object detection, if I want to do object detection. So the salient objects I can give to the system and I can ask system to detect which object it is instead of giving the whole image. Okay. Yes. Okay, another interesting problem is that copy move forgery detection. Copy move is a well-known image forging technique. In this, what we will do, one region in the image, we will try to copy and paste it in the same image. This we are doing to bring a wrong information when we are communicating this image. Okay. So earlier I heard there is a gallery image is there, but half of the gallery is filled. What one person did, he copied and pasted the same region in the same image. When we are seeing this particular gallery image, what will happen? It will give a feel that the gallery is filled with the audience. Okay. Another important problem, yes, there is a reason to keep this. I have some experience on reversible data hiding. So I kept this problem. So reversible data hiding in medical images is also can be considered as a very relevant research problem people can work. Here what we want to do, I have a message or a text file and I am having a medical image. Okay. I want to hide this information in the image and I will get a modified version of the image because when we are trying to embed something on an image, you will be bringing some changes here. So you will get a modified image here. Okay. Now, this image I will try to send to the receiver, maybe another hospital. In the receiving hospital, what we want to do, we want to get back the patient report or text file as it is. Along with that, I want to restore the original image also. Okay. So ultimately, I'm having a message, I'm having an image, I'm embedding this message into the image and I'm sending it. At the receiver side, I need to get back the embedded message. Also, I want to restore the original image. So if I'm able to restore the original image at the receiver side, I can use it for the diagnosis purpose. Otherwise, due to some changes which happen during the embedding process, which may lead to wrong diagnosis also. Okay. So this is another problem you can think about, reversible data hiding in images. Okay. So the first step I told, we want to identify a research domain. Second step or the first step include two things. I need a domain and I want to identify one problem also. Now I decided I will be working with the computer vision and I will try to work on fault detection, computer vision based fault detection. Okay. So now I have a better clarity. What should I do next? The next moment is that we have to work on literature review and refinement of resource problem. What do you mean by literature review? Literature review means there are many papers are already published in this domain, right? We have to go through those publications to understand what all are the recent update in that. Okay. So how we can do the literature review? See, to search the research articles, you can try to use Google Scholar. Okay. So you can take the Google Scholar. Then you can, for example, if you are planning to work on a computer vision based fault detection, you search for that computer vision based fault detection. Then what will happen? You could be able to see many research paper. Okay. And all the papers you may not be able to access because some paper, to access some paper, you may need the subscription. Okay. But some papers might be accessible by you also. Now, if you want to see very recent paper, you can try to click like the papers since 2025. Now, whatever listing here, all papers are published after 2025, and you can try to open the paper. You can try to open the paper. And here in our university, we are having some of the paper like IEEE or Springer access is there. That will be able to access directly. But some, for example, IEEE papers and all accessing outside will not be possible until unless if you don't have a subscription. Okay. Yeah, so this is some of the paper details, and you could be able to see some PDF option to download it. So Google Scholar is one search option. Instead of Googling it, we are using the Google Scholar, which will help you to identify the scholarly articles for your literature review. Okay. So let us move forward. The next step, see, I have taken a decision in this domain I want to work. I took a problem. I want to work on computer vision based fault detection. Then I read some of the articles published in this domain. What is the next step? Next step is I want to design new method or new algorithms in this field. Okay. And I also want to do some experimental study with the new method. Okay. Uh, of course, the new method, if it is better than some of the existing methods, then only I will be able to publish such a research works. Okay. So I'm trying to, the next step is we are trying to design new algorithms. We will do some experimental study. Then we will see how good the results are. We also will try to do some comparative analysis. Comparative analysis means some existing work is there. Our work, how better than it is. Okay. Yes. And if you developed a new algorithm and you realize that whatever the results you are getting that is better than the existing approaches, then you can think about working on a research paper which you can publish. Ultimately, the people, those who are working in the in various research, they will try to publish their work. They will try to file patents. Okay. Sometimes they will try to come up with some prototype which may help them to start some company. Okay. So the next phase is we need to prepare the research article. How to prepare the research article? We can use Microsoft Word kind of tool. Another option is that we can use LaTeX. So most of the researchers, those who are working in different areas, they prefer to use LaTeX for document preparation. Okay. So LaTeX is an excellent tool which will help you to prepare research articles. If you have more equations, table, figures, all those things can be done in a professional way using LaTeX instead of using any tool like Word or Google Doc or something like that. Okay. So we are not going to discuss much about overleaf. So I will just open this platform. This is an overleaf tool, and you can see there are some of my projects are here. Okay, so here it will be, I just want to open one work maybe, so that you could be able to see how things are working. Okay, so this is one paper. So in Overleaf, basically, we will be having a text file. This region we are calling it is a text file. We will try to write all the our document related content here. And if you want to bring any kind of changes, like if you want to bring a table or if you want to bring a bullet point and all, it will have its own command. Okay. So, for example, just one example I'm saying, this is now we are not able to, those who don't have latex background knowledge, it will be very difficult for them to understand very quickly. But I just want to introduce this platform so that you will go back home and instead of Word, you may explore latex. And Overleaf is a platform which helping to use the latex documentation. See here, you can see /begin document, and I am giving some items and end document. This is a command to bring the bullet points. Like that, if you see, I want to keep a section title, then there is a command called a section. If I want to create a table, it's having its own command. For example, this is a command to create the table. Okay. So now there will be an option to compile here. Once you compile, you could be able to see the respective PDF here. Now, this document, output document will have a better alignment and all. And most of the journals nowadays, those who are accepting the research article will give their own latex template. Okay. So, anybody have any questions so far? They can put it in the chat box. Maybe I can take it. If anybody want to ask any questions based on the discussion so far. Okay. Of course, on the fly, if you have any question, please feel free to keep it in the chat box. We will try to take it up. Okay, let us move forward then. Yes. See, whenever we are working on a research paper, usually the research paper will be having the following sections. Okay, so just 1 minute. Yeah, so usually the paper, any research paper, it will be having a paper title. Okay, and in all the research article, we will try to keep the author details and other names and their related information, like what is their affiliation, email ID, those kind of thing. So paper title, other details will be there. And usually if all the research paper will start with an abstract with a few words, maybe 200 to 250 words. And usually in all the research papers, we will keep a few keywords which will help to the searching of the article. Okay. Then introduction might be there. Literature review will be there. Introduction means you are introducing the research domain. Literature review means, see, we have gone through some of the existing published work, right? So in this paper, what all are the existing works are already published. We are trying to discuss those existing work, how it is relevant to our study. Okay. Then we will try to keep a proposed method section. The proposed method section, what it will do, it will try to, in this section, we will try to discuss about the proposed algorithms. Okay, if you, any new methods, if you introduced, we will try to discuss those new algorithms here. Then there should be a section called experimental study and result analysis, where we will discuss what all are the experimental study we did. For example, if I have done some study of computer vision based fault detection, I might have used some of the existing computer vision based fault detection data set. Okay, so what kind of results I got, how my system is performing as compared to the existing schemes. Okay, so all those things we'll be discussing in a section called experimental study and result analysis. And this, whatever the things I'm saying here, introduction, literature review, proposed method, this all may vary from paper to paper. But in core, we will try to discuss all these things. And usually there will be having a conclusion and references. References will indicate that which all are the papers you referred. In a standard template, we will try to list all of them. Okay. Okay, now I just want to show you one sample results article. Of course, you might have seen many articles. So this is a paper. You can see that this is the title. Okay, this is one of our paper. And these all are the names of the authors. Okay, and you can see the department details and institute details is also given here, and who is the corresponding author, like who is communicating this paper. Then abstract is there. Then you can see keywords might be there. An introduction section is there. And slowly we will try to discuss about the related work. Related work means literature review. Okay. So proposed scheme is discussing about the proposed algorithm, what kind of algorithm. So you can try to keep algorithm, you can try to keep some illustrative examples, all those things are possible. Okay. And usually you try to, whenever you want to publish the paper, you should have some little bit mathematical support also. Then moving forward, you will be keeping some of the results, experimental study results. So this work basically use the images. Okay. So this is an overview of a research paper. Now the next question, I selected an area. I understood I want to work on this problem. Then I did some literature review. I got an overall idea about the existing work. Then what I did, I tried to come up with my own ideas. I tried to implement a new method to solve a problem. And I observed that my system is working better than the existing approaches. Okay, for example, I developed a face recognition system which is detecting the faces even though if there is an occlusion or if the lighting condition is not so good, still it is detecting the face. Then my system might be working better than the existing work, right? In such cases, we can think about publishing our work. Maybe I may be using overlay for Word to prepare the document. Then I can try to submit into, or I can try to publish in a conference or book chapter or journal publication. These are some of the well-known publication opportunities. Okay, conference publications, book chapter, and journal publications. See, if when we talk about the conference publication, usually this is one of the for example, some people, those who are in the beginning stage of research, conference publication is one of the best option to start your research publications. Okay, because there are nowadays there are a lot of conferences will be happening throughout, and people can, those who are in the beginning stage, they can try to submit their papers into those conferences. And what will happen? That conference organizing committee will review those papers. Sometimes they will review that or they will send to some of the reviewers. Then they will get back you. Maybe their decision might be your paper is accepted, okay, or rejected, or asked for revision. Okay. And you should be a little bit careful when you're submitting your research paper. It's not like only presenting the paper, whatever you are submitting into the conference, it should be published with some reputed publishers. So I suggest you to go with this some reputed publications like IEEE or Springer. Many of the conferences, if you see the conference list, they will say that it is an IEEE conference or a Springer conference. There are many other publishing options are also there, but majority usually we will see IEEE and Springer. So they what will happen? They will be having a conference proceedings publication option will be there, and your paper will be published there. And once you publish, that will be available during your lifetime. So you can see many conference emails and all. Those who are working in the academic environment, they might be getting many such information. For understanding it a better way, I just kept one of the conference. This conference is going to happen in NIT Calicut in December 26. Okay, so this is a more aligned with the computer vision and image processing, and my interest is also there. That's why I kept this. And you can see that they kept all the details here, like the conference date here. Okay, and the paper submission deadline, they extended the round one, what is the extension date, everything they have given. Okay, and if you are ready with the paper, you can try to submit it. You will be able to find the submit option to submit the paper. You can see, go to author guideline and submission portal. If you click here, it will take you into another page where you are having all the instructions. Okay, and if you want to go for submission, you can just click here, and they are using a portal called Microsoft CMT. This is one of the popular conference management tool. Okay, so you can just click here and can go for the submission. Okay, so that about conferences. What is the other option? The second option is that you can think about a book chapter. In book chapter, what is going to happen? Basically, there will be a few editors for the book, and instead of I am writing the whole content for a book, I will try to collect the book chapters from different resource people or research people, and I will try to connect with a publisher. I will review all the book chapters that is coming to me, and I will select which all are the relevant papers, and I will try to publish as a book. So usually, if you see the book chapter called for, there will be some editors will be there already. Okay, so they are the editors, and the researchers can contribute book chapters. So the selected papers will come in the final book, where there will be a number of chapters aligned to the given book title. Okay, sorry. Now, this is also a good option. Most of the book chapters you can publish without any payment from authors. You can see some of this book chapter called for. If it is relevant to your area, you can prepare the chapter and you can submit it. Most of the publications, book chapter publications, are free. Okay. Yes, let us move forward. The next option is journal publication. Okay. Journal publication, usually again in journals we are having good quality journals are there, and there are some junk quality. There are some journals which are junk. Okay, that is not reputed. So you could be able to find many journals, but if you want to publish in a reputed journals, you should have sufficient contribution from your side, and you should be able to highlight those contributions significantly in your paper also. And many of the reputed journals, it is associated with some of the groups or publishers like IEEE, Springer, Elsevier, ACM, MDPI, PRJ, etc. Okay. And if you want to publish your article in some of these journals handled by this group, there should be a detailed experimental study should be there, along with the possible comparative study with the existing work. I cannot simply say that my work is good. Along with that, I should be able to compare with the existing work also. Okay. Nowadays, institutes are also looking for ranking and all, right? For example, NIRF ranking is there, accreditation is there. So most of the cases, whenever institute is trying, or whenever we ourselves is trying for some career progression and all, most of the institutes or university will try or consider only Scopus indexed journals. Okay. So uh, anything? Mm. Nilima, anything to discuss? You are okay. Okay, fine. So Scopus indexed journals is considering as a class of collection of journals which are indexed in Scopus, and they are treating as a reputed journal. And again in Scopus there are different quartiles are there. Okay, there is a category called Q1. There is Q2 journals are there, Q3 journals are there, Q4 journals are there. Q1 journals are considering as the top set of journals in Scopus index. So, for example, I am working in SRM University AP. Here we are having many PhD students are there. They are doing full-time PhD. Okay. So our requirement is that the student should publish at least two Q1 or Q2 journal paper. Okay. So this is our requirement. Similarly, if you take any university or institute, okay, they will be having their own uh, requirement when people are doing the PhD degree. So now the question, I prepared a research article, how I can find the journals to submit this paper. Okay. So there are multiple options are there. There are some, for example, I told you Springer is one of the well-known publisher. Elsevier is also one of the well-known publisher, right? You can try to just Google for Springer Journal Finder. Okay. Then what you can try to do, you can try to give the some maybe abstract keyword or anything related to your paper here. For example, I'm saying that I have virtual reality, a few keywords. I'm not giving the abstract. I don't have any abstract with me. Virtual reality, education, okay, interactive teaching, something like that. Okay, teaching. Now I can try to click the find journal option. Now you can see that the system is recommending you many journals, education and information technology, BMC, medical education, like that. Now in here you can see many relevant information. What is the impact factor? How much time it will take for the first decision? All those things. And you can try to do some filtering. Okay, for example, like impact factor high to low, you can filter. Okay, or based on the time for the first decision, you can try to uh, filter. This way, you can try to come up with your right articles. Okay. Okay. So this is one thing. Along with that, Elsevier is also having the same thing. And sometimes what I used to do, I will go with the Scopus search. Scopus is like an indexing community. Okay. So here what you can try to do, you have an option to search. Okay. Then what you can try to do here, if you go sources rather than search, you can, it's just loading. You can try to select a subject area or journal title here. I'm just selecting a subject area, and I have a paper that is related to maybe agriculture, let us assume. Then, or maybe we will go with another biochemistry. I have a paper with the biochemistry. Then I will try to select that and I will apply. Now you can see that it will list all the Scopus indexed journal. Okay. And in case if you are doing your PhD and you want to publish your work in a Q1 journal, then you can just click here. First quartile you click, then you apply the filter. Then you can see that whatever the journals are listed here, all are Q1 journals. Okay. And as now it is showing only 20 pages, 20 journal details in a page. You can try to make it more also. Now you can see all these papers are journals are Scopus indexed. If you want to see the journal in detail, you can go there and you can see the all this information. And if you want to open, you can just try to open it also. Okay. Yeah. So this is the journal. Now, whenever you finding a journal, there is another concern. Okay. What is the concern? What is the concern? Okay, I have a question. Thank you, Meera, for asking the question. Examples of Q1 journal. Okay. Examples of Q1 journals. See, there are many journals are coming under Q1. For example, we are a CSC person, let us assume. We are with the CSC background. So what I want to do, I want to find out some journals in Q1. So I will go to subject area. Okay, let me remove this thing, whatever earlier search. I'm going here and I want to select the computer science. Okay, computer science is there. Then I am applying. Now you can see many journals are listed here. If you want only the Q1 journal, you just click here and apply. Now, whatever listed here, these all are Q1 journals. Okay, so these all are belongs to, it can be journals or other publications also. If you want to filter it only for journals, you click journal, then apply it. Yeah, now you can see that foundations and trends in machine learning, nature, biomedical engineering, these all things are Q1 journals. Okay, and another quick idea is also there. Here you can see a highest percentile like that. So if this percentile value is 75 percentage or above, it will be considering as a Q1. If this percentile is between 50 to 75, it is Q2. Okay. Usually, like in any, for example, I am a faculty in a university. I have a set of PhD student. I have a set of BTech students also working on some research work. Now, BTech student paper may or may not be qualified a Q1 journal, right? Then usually what I will do, I want to try in a Q3 journal. Then I will try to, usually I will try to select Q3 or Q4. Then I will try to apply. Now, there are many journals are there. Here you can see the percentage. It is 49, 46, which means it is Q3. Okay. Q4 means the value will be less than 25. Okay. And usually what we will do, if the journal name is coming here, that is that not alone sufficient. You click here. Before you are submitting, you go and verify its coverage. Okay. If it is saying that, okay, 2026 is also included, then no problem. Okay. So this is the way usually we used to find whenever some student paper is coming, we'll try to find out Q3 or Q4 paper. Whenever our PhD students are working, maybe we will go with the Q1 or Q2 category kind of thing. Okay. So I hope you are following. And yes, now another concern is there. See, one of the common problem when we are submitting into journal, the journal people will send your paper for review. Okay. For reviewing, it may take, it's unpredictable actually. How long it will take, we don't know. Okay. So that's why some journals may respond quickly, some journals may take a long time. So this is a common concern, those who are doing PhD and all. Sometimes, for example, in my experience, I can tell you, 1 year back, I submitted a paper into one journal. Even after 11 months, I didn't get any response from the journal. Then I withdraw the paper and I resubmitted. Again, there is a basic ethic in research. If you have a research paper, you are not allowed to submit into parallelly in multiple venues. You should submit into one journal or conference. Then based on the response, you have to resubmit it. Okay, you are not allowed to submit parallelly. Okay, you may or may not get caught. That doesn't mean that you can do that. Okay, so that is one advisory note from my side. Yeah, so I think no additional questions. Okay, now there are some, if you see the journals, two types of journals we can see. Two or three type I can say. One set of journal we are calling, they are the paid journals. Okay, or such journals require article processing charge. Okay, so whichever the journals require article processing charge, we are calling them paid journals, where what people will do, mostly if I submit a paper and if it get accepted, I have to pay the publication fee. What is the good thing about the paid journals? Most of the paid journals are ready to respond you quickly, because usually they will give some discount vouchers to the reviewers and all. So the reviewers may respond very quickly. Okay. So for example, MDPI is one of the publisher. Okay. Uh, MDPI is one of the publisher. Most of their journals are paid journals. Okay, but they will try to respond very quickly. Maybe within a month, you will try to get the first decision whether paper is rejected or if it is major revision or whatever. Okay. So that is one thing, and there are many Elsevier or Springer journals. If you take, they are coming under hybrid journals. Hybrid journals means they there will be having an option to pay APC, and another without APC also will be there. Then what is the difference? See, if I am publishing with APC on this hybrid journal, the readers can access my paper publicly without any subscription. Okay. So let us assume that I have a funded project. In that funded project, I have good amount which I can utilize for paying the article processing charge. Then if I pay as an APC, then whatever the paper is getting published, that can be accessed by anyone. So I do not want to worry about whether the receiver who are want to read, whether they are having a subscription to access the journal or not. Okay. So usually in academic environment, if you have a funding, usually people will go with these journals because the charging for these journals are not a small amount. For example, MDPI, many journals, it will be like amount is coming something like 1,800 CHF. So that may be around 100. You can convert into 100 approximately. Okay. So this is one information I want to share it. Okay. Okay, so I will be discussing 20 minutes, 25 minutes more about the PhD program also. But I will be happy to take any questions so far. I thank Meera, at least I got a question. Okay, anybody else having any questions, they can put it in the chat box. We will have 2-3 minutes discussion. Then we will move forward into talk about the PhD program. Okay, yeah, I'm getting questions. Okay, I will take it up. Anybody else having any other questions? Okay, so there is a question, how to tackle delay in journal publication. There is no way to tackle the delay in publication, but only one thing you can do. What usually I'm doing, or my friends are doing, we know some journals, they will respond within 1 month, 2 months, some information we are having. Okay. The other thing is that you can go into some journal, you try to access some of the paper, and you see how much some in most of the journal publication, they will try to mention uh, when the paper is submitted. Okay, when the paper is submitted, when it is accepted, and when it is published. Usually in many journal publication or journal articles, these three information will be there. Usually what I'm doing, if I find a new journal, it is in a Q1 journal, let us assume, I will go and check some article, I will open and I will see this duration. For example, December 2024, the paper is submitted. Okay, then it is accepted in December 2025. Okay, which giving a information how much time it is taking for the acceptance. It's not like one paper this much 1 year is taken because all the papers will take 1 year. That assumption is also not correct. So you can try to take some other random articles and you try to see the pattern. This is one way to do that. Again, this doesn't guarantee that your paper will be getting accepted or rejected within the time period given. Okay. But as I told, in the research community, usually it is aware that there are few set of journals are there, they may respond quickly. Okay. So, for example, IEEE Access, it's a paid journal. You have to pay the fee, then only will be able to publish. IEEE Access, basically, they will give you the review within 30 to 45 days. And their decision will be a binary decision. Binary decision means accepted or rejected. Okay. But other journals, what usually they will do, they will give you major revision or minor revision or rejection. Okay. If it is a minor revision, that is a very good sign. It says that only some minor changes we want to do it in the paper so that it will be accepted. Major revision means if you incorporate all the reviewers' comments in the revised article, then there is a chance to get through. Again, there is a possibility if they are not convinced, they will send back you with a major or minor revision. Okay. Usually in journal article, if you are getting a major revision in the first time, that itself it will be a positive sign. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else? Any other questions? Of course, as I told, this is a casual discussion. I'm happy to share if anything I know with you, which may help you in your publication or anything. Okay, so since there is no question, let us move forward. I just wish to talk about little bit about a PhD program also. And my ultimate objective is that those who are in teaching or those who completed MTech or MCA or even BTech also attending this FDP, but they don't know what exactly will happen during PhD. Okay, some of them have some vague idea only what is PhD. So let me try to, we have 15 minutes. Within that time, I will try to give an overview about a PhD program. Okay, so basically, PhD is the short form of Doctor of Philosophy. Okay, and it is the highest academic degree that anyone can earn. Okay. After PhD, there is no new degree you will be able to earn. There is something called postdoctoral and all that we are not considering as a degree. So this is the highest degree that anyone can achieve. Okay. Okay. Now, usually, we all know PhD involves a years of commitment is required. It depends on how much time it will take. It depends on many parameters. Okay, it's not like a MTech program or BTech program. I know that if I join for a MTech program, if I do well, I can complete it in 2 years. Okay, because I have a clear cut idea how many papers I have to study and I have to clear the exam like that. But PhD is an entirely different mode of work. Okay, here there is an uncertainty how much time you will take to complete. Again, it depends on the university where you are registered for PhD or the country. Okay, in some country the things will go fast. In some country it may be taking time. Ultimately, at the end of the PhD program, you will be getting a doctorate. Okay, people will address you doctor. Okay, so ultimately, this is the final thing you are going to get after your PhD. Of course, throughout the PhD process, you will be get experience through various things that will help your career progression or career search or whatever. Okay. Now, I want to discuss some of the myth and the real fact about the PhD. Okay. Of course, again, there might be some debate on this, but from my perspective, I'm trying to explain these things. Okay. So one of the common concept is that people are thinking whenever people are going for PhD, they going for PhD to become professors. Okay, but this is not true. There are many people after PhD, they are working in research laboratories and industries. PhD not only meant for the professors. Like if I do PhD, I will go into teaching field. That is absolutely wrong. But of course, many or majority is going into the teaching domain. Another small point, see, many people are stepping back towards PhD program. They don't want to go for PhD because they're thinking that PhD students must know exactly what they want to do from the beginning itself. Before going for the PhD itself, they want to know what they have to do. Okay. So this is not true. Okay. For example, when I was going to join for the PhD program, I don't have much idea what exactly I will do that. But during the interview process and all, I prepared the fundamental core subject. Okay. Then after joining for the program, the supervisor given a problem and I started from scratch. Similarly, this is applicable in many places. Okay. But some institute, for example, if you are applying in IITs, some NITs, they may ask you some research proposal prior itself. In that case, you should have an idea which area you have to work. Okay. But this is not mandatory. You should be very proficient in the area that you selected for PhD. Yeah, another thing, see, the PhDs, those who are going for PhD, they should have exceptional academic skill. Okay. We used to say Buddhijeevigal, right? So only the people, those who are very exceptional, they only will go to the PhD program. That is also not true. During the PhD period, what we want to do, we want to make sure that or the PhD students should do dedicatedly, they have to do the work. That's it. Another important point, people are thinking that once they complete the PhD or they during the PhD they have to do some groundbreaking discoveries or innovations. What it means, for example, the innovations like finding of wheels, right? Those things we are considering as a groundbreaking research, right? So during PhD, or I am saying that in my PhD, I converted water into a petrol, something like that. Okay, I identified a method to convert water into petrol. That is also going to be a groundbreaking research if I can do that. But many of the cases, all the doctoral degree is not uh, producing any groundbreaking discoveries. It is happening also. If it is happening, that is well and good. Okay, but most of the cases, people will do some incremental research. They will try to study about the existing problem and they will try to improve the solutions. Simple example, wheel already invented. Now many, like there are many wheels are there, right? So what I can do, I can think about some alterations on the existing tires, okay? Maybe grip design or new material for the wheels, something like that, which may help me to help the tires to last long time or to give a better grip when it is driving through a hill area, something like that. So I'm even designing a new grip, okay, which may ensure smooth driving in a hill area. That also is a research, okay. It's not a groundbreaking research because already wheel is invented, okay. Okay, fine. Now, next thing people are thinking that during PhD, people will work in isolation. Okay. So that is also, that is not true actually. During PhD, people will work in isolation. That is not true. People will be, the students will go for um, like conferences. Okay, they will be having a research laboratory where people will do the discussions. Weekly meetings will be there. It's not like the student will work in isolation. Sometimes the student may have to go and teach uh, the PhD scholar want to go and teach the students also. Another misconception is that PhD will guarantee high paying job. No one can guarantee that. Okay. It depends on the available job market and what is your skill, attitude. Okay. So it depends on all those things. Don't think that if I take the PhD, I will get a high paying job. But nowadays there are a lot of opportunities are there. Even people with a PhD, there are many emerging universities are there, okay, and in existing academic environment itself, there is a lot of PhD requirement is there with the PhD. So this doesn't guarantee a high paying job, but there is a high probability. Another point is that people thinks people will be working during their PhD, they will be working only on their research. No, not exactly. During even in my experience also, I used to take a teaching assistantship. Sometimes I will go and teach the theory courses also, and some invigilation duties will be there if you are a full-time PhD student, and we will attend various seminar talks or all those things. So it's not like I will go and do the research, but when you are doing PhD, it will be like you will be involving in many things. So another concern, uh, yeah, some people may or may not agree. Those who are going for PhD, they will be fully dedicated in research, and there will not be they have to sacrifice their family life. Okay, this depends on how we are taking it up. Okay, and it's also depends on with which professor you are working. All those things, but usually it's not like that you have to drop everything and you have to dedicate on PhD. Okay, we can easily balance both. Okay, so it's not like you have to completely compromise your family life, then only you can do the PhD. Another important point, like many cases, people will think PhD supervisors are very harsh academicians. Okay, there might be people, but nowadays if you see any universities or any academic environment, people are very cooperative. Okay, like even um, like the PhD supervisor will treat the research scholar like a colleague. Okay, because that's a mutually beneficial relationship. For example, the student want to complete the PhD as early as possible. Okay, that require the support from the supervisor, and the supervisor, even supervisor also might be thinking that the student, if he complete, it may help with supervisor's career progression also, and it's like a mutual support will be there. Of course, there are in some environment you could be able to see some harsh academicians. This is not only in any place you can see that, but we cannot generalize that. Nowadays, what I observed in most of the places you could be able to find the PhD supervisor, they are very supportive. These are some of my thought process. Even I went for the PhD program in 2014. Uh, I joined for the full-time PhD program at IIITDM Kanchipuram. It's a central government institute in 2014. Just before that, I was going through various concerns. Like I don't have any idea which area I should do. Okay, how the admission process will be, which institute or university I should pick. Okay, how to choose the supervisor, what all are the stages of the PhD. Many of those things having a very vague idea. Okay. Uh, so ultimately, I will quickly go through the various phases of the PhD also, so that if anyone interested to take the PhD admission or want to think seriously, this may help. The first step, you have to take admission in any institute or university, right? Then you will get a supervisor. The supervisor will be going to be with you for throughout your PhD program, and there will be a uh, I will go through the slides rather than listing there. So when you are thinking about the PhD program, you can think about a full-time or part-time PhD program. Full-time means you have to be fully dedicated and available every day in the campus. Part-time means you will be working in some other organization, and you, based on the university requirement, you may visit the campus. Of course, full-time PhD program means you will be having more time you will be getting. You will be dedicatedly working on the research only, but part-time means it's very difficult, right? Sometimes you will be working in a organization, and you want to do your current job and want to do the PhD. But it depends on what kind of job we are doing. Can we go for a full-time? It depends on many parameters. Okay. So anyhow, either full-time or part-time, we can go ahead. Now the second thing is which institute or where we can do the PhD. Of course, we can try to take the admissions in the reputed institute like IITs, IASC, or NITs, IASTs, triple ITs, and there are some mathematical institutes. Chennai CMI is the Chennai Mathematical Institute is the Indian Statistical Institute is there, IIM is there. Depends on your area, you can try to find a suitable institute. So these organizations are usually centrally funded, most of them, or like a public-private partnership kind of thing. And there are some central universities are there, like University of Delhi, University of Hyderabad. There are many private universities are there. Nowadays, they are also promoting research. Even my organization, SRM University AP, it's a private university basically. Then state universities are there. Okay. Deemed universities are there. So we can think about we have to based on our skills and of course if you can get into IIT for a PhD program, that is well and good, right? Because you are going to get IIT brand, right? So depends on our skills and our other constraints like family constraints and financial constraints. We can try to find out the best option for the PhD program. So of course, if I want to compare part-time and full-time PhD, full-time PhD will be getting more time. Okay, most of the full-time PhD program will be having a fellowship. Okay, then you can try to finish with a less duration. You will be well focused and you can access all the resources in the universities. What is the benefit of part-time PhD? You do not want to drop your current job. Okay. But the concerns are that maybe usually as compared to full-time, part-time may take more time. Time management, we should be good in time management. Okay. And the resources. For example, if someone is working in a university environment full time, you can access all the research paper, everything easily there, right? But if you are outside the campus, maybe accessing the library or computers, computation resources, everything will be a concern. And see, a research supervisor allocation usually will happen once you join for a program. So research supervisor or your guide, who is a key person going to be part of your PhD journey. Okay, so from the beginning to the end, they need, or the research scholar need their support. Now, some cases, if the supervisor think the student want to work on some interdisciplinary domain, or we need some support from other areas also, then what usually a co-supervisor will be also assigned for a PhD student. Once you join for a PhD program, usually all the organization or institute, they will form a doctoral committee. That doctoral committee may contain one or two internal expert and one or two external expert. This committee will review your progress throughout your program. And of course, what you will do once you join for the program, you may do some coursework at the beginning. It depends on the institute guideline. You might be crediting some of the courses. Along with that, you will do some literature review to understand your area and research problem. There will be a phase called comprehensive viva. In this process, usually an external examiner will come and will interact with you. After comprehensive viva only, usually your PhD admission will be regularized. Till that, it may say that it is provisional. And if you see the institute guidelines of most of the institute, you will get a few limited chances to clear the comprehensive viva. Okay, usually people will clear within that, because during comprehensive viva, you will be getting the fundamental questions based on the coursework you have done during PhD or the fundamental research you have done. Of course, we have to do the research work and publication. And DC meetings may happen in a frequent interval to review your progress. Usually the convener of the committee will be the research supervisor. Then once you meet the eligibility criteria for your PhD submission, like as I told, in our environment, we are giving the full-time PhD program. For that, actually, 2 Q1, Q2 journals are mandatory. Okay. So usually the thesis, like the research article, depends on the work. We have to keep an introduction, related work, research contribution, proposed method. All these things should be there in the PhD thesis. Then you will submit the thesis. The thesis usually it will go for a Indian reviewer or sometimes foreign reviewers also. You may get the review. Once you get the review, they may ask you to do some revisions. You may have to do all those revisions. Then you will go for a final presentation of your PhD. After presentation, what will happen? If you can answer all the questions from the audience and the committee members, then you will be awarded with a doctoral degree. Okay. What is the benefits of doing PhD? Of course, it will help your personal development. You will become an expert in some domain. It will help your career progression. Of course, during PhD, you will be collaborating, or you will find out many people working in different domains. Your network will expand. Of course, it is a good thing that once you get a doctoral degree, you will be having a better recognition in the society. Of course, during PhD and all, you will be accessing the various resources, and there is a scope for national or international better opportunities in India or abroad. See, you can like whenever, if you are seriously thinking about a PhD admission, you can try to do some like you can search for the opportunities. You can try to connect with the PhD supervisors well in advance. Okay, whenever you are trying to communicate with them, draft the mail carefully. Okay, that is giving an impression about about you, right? If you are writing an email with a lot of grammar and spelling mistake, there itself the communication will get stopped, right? Yeah. So maybe I believe you might be start thinking about PhD also. Uh, yeah. So if I will just conclude my discussion. As I told at the beginning, uh, my focus is not to discuss you some technical content, rather than I assumed a majority is there, those who interested to do the research, but they didn't start yet. So I want to encourage them how to do these things. And I know this is a short time. We are trying to run through many things. It might be overflowing many things, but still some of the points might be uh, uh, interesting for you. And in the second part, I tried to discuss with you about the PhD program and various uh, phases of during the PhD. Okay, that's mainly from my side. I will see any questions. No, we have only no questions. Okay, so there is a feedback form is shared by the coordinators. You can try to fill that. Uh, any other questions? I'm glad to take it. Uh, yeah. Any other questions? Thank you. These are some of my snaps from my. Okay. Yes, I'm getting a few questions. Yeah. Duration of PhD in part time. So as I told, the duration of PhD, even whether it is a part time PhD or full time PhD, no one can guarantee that. Okay. For example, I can take when I did my PhD, I took 4 years and 6 months to submit the thesis. I remember my friend, one of my close friend, who is an assistant professor in NIT Calicut now, is my best friend. He submitted his thesis in 4 years. I also saw some people, our friends only, they took more than 6 years also. Okay. So ultimately, during PhD, what you have to do, we have to there will be a guideline. For example, currently when I'm working as a faculty here, we insisting our students to publish two Q1, Q2 journal. Okay. After now, I can see that people are doing such things very quickly. Within 2 years, 2.5 years, they are able to get one or two Q1, Q2 papers. So it depends on how good you are working and the guideline by the university. So in part-time PhD also, there will be a minimum duration. For example, you have to complete 3 years. You cannot do before that. Here also, for example, in our environment also, full-time PhD only there. In full-time PhD, the minimum period is 2 years and 9 months. Okay. You can submit only thesis after 2 years and 9 months. So if I take Mira's question, duration of PhD for part-time, that is not fixed. Okay, minimum period will be fixed. Maximum period depends on the when you will meet the requirement, when you will get the publication. Also, sometimes what will happen? Some supervisors, the eligibility criteria is two papers. Some supervisors may say that no, you do one more work, you complete that, then you submit the thesis. This is also very common, right? Yeah. Okay, I have another question. Thank you asking question, Aisha. How can we get a research opportunity during college? Is there is any platform or way to apply? Uh, I'm not sure what exactly you meant, but see, usually I can tell you, I hope when you are, if you are a student and you want to do some research work, how we can do that, right? See, I can say that nowadays even BTech students are doing the research, what they are doing. Uh, See, many students are working with me or with my friends. Okay, they are in the second year BTech or third year BTech. They will take a problem. They will discuss with the supervisor. They will do some. They will come up with some solutions. Okay, then they will even. We are publishing the conference paper, journal paper. These kinds of things are parallelly going on. So if you are a student in a institute, okay, You can try to talk to the faculty, those who are doing the kind of research work. Okay. Uh, then you should try to come up with some new solutions, some results. It can be written as a research article and it can be published. Okay, how far we can go for part-time PhD? Again, there is a in most of the university there will be a guideline. For example, you should finish your program within 6 years. Okay, it depends on the institute guideline. Like it's not like you can go 10 years. Okay, for example, in our environment, 6 years, within 6 years, people have to complete the PhD. But there is a 6 month additional extension might be possible for uh, uh, lady PhD scholars by considering other maternity leave or anything. Yeah, I'm getting very good questions. Thank you. For funded project PhD, coursework will be the, yeah, that's a very good question. See, if you see some of the institutes, IITs, NITs, or even some private universities also, they will be having funded projects. Okay. For example, I have a funded project. In that funded project, I can take some PhD scholars to work on my funded project. So, Mr. Nandu is asking whether such people will be having coursework. Yes, because if you are joining in an institute for a PhD, either funded project or as a regular institute supported PhD student, whatever, all the students will be going through the same phases. You have to do the coursework. There will be a doctoral committee. They will assess. And what is the institute guideline to complete the PhD? You have to meet that also. Okay. So coursework is depends on the university guideline. You have to follow that either in a project funded project category or you are a regular PhD student. Okay, so Vijesh asking, can you just tell how would be the interview for admission about the preparation and all? Okay, thank you for asking that question, Vijesh. See, I have some limited experience. I can share my experience when I attended the interview, and I can tell you what we are doing when we are taking the PhD student also, and some information about other from my colleagues also. See, most of the people, for example, when I attended the interview at a IIIT TDM Kanchipuram in 2014 or 2013, I attended the interview. That time they were conducted one test based on 3 or 4 core subjects. I should be good in data structure. I should be good in algorithm, C programming, and discrete mathematics. So they already prior they informed these 4 courses you have to prepare. Then we went there, we wrote the exam, and those who cleared the written exam, they asked them to stay there. Remaining people can go home. By lunchtime, what they did, they conducted the exam and they shortlisted. Okay. If you see the other institute, for example, I was talking to my friend in NIT Calicut recently. They are also following, there will be a written exam. Those who are clearing the written exam, for them, they will conduct the interview. Okay, usually 100 or 200 applicants will come for writing the exam and they will filter into maybe 40, 50 like that. This 40, 50 will go and take the interview. Okay, it will be a panel will be there and they usually will test your fundamental knowledge. Even when we are conducting the interview here also, we will ask the candidate, can you tell 1 or 2 core subject in computer science? For example, core subject, which all are the core subject for a CSE candidate? I can say data structure, algorithm, operating system, computer network. Okay, this kind of basic courses, right? So people will ask that questions in that fundamental subject. Again, I think when I attended the interview, I remember they asked questions on data structures. And you should have some basic idea which area you want to work. For example, I want to work on AML applications in healthcare and do some preliminary study, not very detailed. so that you can tell that I want to work on this area with maybe specifically this area like that. Ajesh, I hope I answered your question. Okay. Any more questions? If no more question, we already, I think, took 15 minutes more. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Vijesh. Thank you for asking the question. I thank all the participants. I thank the coordinating team. I also thank Dr. Srishma, Miss Srishma for contacting Nimisha also. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. If no questions, I think we can stop the discussion.
Thank you, sir, for patiently answering all the questions and sharing your valuable insights. We also thank all the participants for their active interaction and participation. With this, we conclude the first section of day 5. The next section will commence at 4:30 p.m. We request all participants to rejoin on time. Thank you.
Thank you.